get against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
And it's like clockwork. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. One love to all of you who are currently tuned in. Large up the Twitch gang and those sort of things. Shout out to everyone watching it on the YouTube replay when you're watching it and however you're watching it. Like I just said, people, you just heard me shouting over a good intro, probably butchering your ears. Hope you're doing well and safe. Good afternoon, sorry, where you lot in the UK like myself are concerned. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. Hope everyone's attacked the week aggressively. I know it's Monday morning. I know the week, well, Monday morning somewhere, but I know it's Monday and the weekend's gone. But at least Arsenal's playing today. On that note, people, please make sure you're subscribed to me on Twitch. You know, follow and subscribe, but also make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and you've set your notifications because obviously it's Arsenal versus Crystal Palace today, live from 7 p.m. I will be doing a watch along, obviously watching, commenting, and overall reacting with you lot in real time. So yeah, you know, one love to everyone who was in my previous live stream over on YouTube, and of course appreciative to everyone that's here. More want to look at football from a general standpoint, really. Like I said, please make sure you're checking out your schedules because tomorrow morning we'll focus specifically on the Premier League and other things. But yeah, a lot of things are going on. Unai Emery and Gerrard have once again been thrown in the Newcastle frame. You know, Ollie's hanging on by a knife thread. Lukaku can't seem to score goals. You know, couple other bits and pieces. Benzema, Ballon d'Or propaganda campaign is still going strong, and I'm loving it. You know, a couple of things are happening, people, and I love to speak about football from a neutral point of view. You know, make sure you're listening to the Nightbot. Get all your DG merch. Go to the following, and if you have Amazon Prime, make sure you can always subscribe via Amazon Prime for free to support the channel. Appreciative to everyone. DG, I only clocked yesterday how Napoli have perfect form so far this season. Napoli have been doing their thing, man. Again, it's early doors where all leagues are concerned, but you're fully right. Napoli are doing their thing, and they're quite a joy to watch in Europa League. Their games seem to be eventful. Like they had an eventful game against Leicester, and I think they lost to Spartak Moscow, if I can remember correctly, but that was an eventful game as well, and whatnot. Game player said, why would Unai Emery go to Newcastle when he is coaching a good Villarreal side? I mean, I didn't make it up. Don't shoot the messenger. We'll get into it and see exactly why in just a second, my guy, potentially. But I do share your sentiment. But is it necessarily the right one that we believe? I don't know, man. We're going to have to see. How am I feeling? Tino, appreciate you, my guy, for you know, obviously caring about the dude. I'm good, man. You know, it's Monday. As much as anyone can like Monday, it's Monday. We keep going, and it's an aggressive week for me with content galore. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed on both platforms and you're paying attention, folks, because there's a watch along every day, particularly on Twitch. You know, equally, I don't know who is. I don't even remember at this point who is playing on Tuesday, Wednesday in the Champions League at 5:45. But we'll be watching the 5:45 kickoff on Tuesday together, live from around 5:20 on both them days. Then obviously we'll head over to YouTube at about 7:30, 7:45 esque, and prepare ourselves for the Champions League games that will be kicking off as well, folks. So yeah, content galore. Arsenal playing Monday and Friday. Well, I think I'm going to do a watch along for Lazio versus Marseille with you guys as well. Saliba, Guendouzi watch. Why not? Saturday, big amounts of content. Chelsea, Norwich, and Brighton, Man City. This is obviously following this week. This is the tail end of this week, people. And then obviously on Sunday, I think it's West Ham Spurs. We definitely got to watch that game. And then you've got an even bigger game in Man United versus Liverpool. Like I said, it's a big week for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Atalanta in the Champions League. And obviously on Sunday, and we'll be doing a watch along for United because, again, I'm sure we're all hoping that Oli can keep his job, but it looks like days are numbered. But we'll get into all of that in a sec, man. Again, hope you're doing well and safe, man. Club Brugge versus Man City is the early kickoff tomorrow. So yeah, man, you know, we'll be doing that, man. So appreciative. Again, check out your Twitch schedule. One thing I really love that Twitch have over YouTube, you can see his schedule for when I actually am bringing out content. Got other football manager bits and pieces, and you can set reminders. That way you're there in it, people. Live in real time and whatnot. So yeah, where should we actually start? You know, I'm always excited to talk to you guys because obviously I like to think I do a good job of preparing talking points, and I'm always thinking of you guys that, man. It's going to sound a bit mad, but when I'm watching games, when I'm not watching it with you guys, I'm talking to myself, writing little notes, and I'm always like, oh yeah, man, I can't wait to be on YouTube or Twitch and chat to them and there about it. So that's where that's where the bulk of my content is coming from, really. It's just all sort of moments. So yeah, obviously I think I want to speak about Fatty, Benzema, Lewandowski, a couple other bits and pieces. Actually, what I need to do is make sure we have proper timestamps for such people. So let's actually do that first. First things first, man. Let's actually make sure we've got timestamps. Sorry, folks. If you don't want to see the mess I've actually got on I can actually show you. Just a mad, you know me, I love the Google Doc. But yeah, that was earlier timestamps, and now we've got to be here. So yeah, I think we can insert it here. Just so you lot can see the real life of this people. And I was doing a madness with the cursor there. Timestamps. Benzema, wait. Unai Emery, Newcastle, Benzema / LEWA, Fatty. What else have we got to speak about? Fatty's there. Lukaku, Pogba / Oli. In fact, that's a tomorrow when I'm bugging out to you lot, people. We can talk about Oli in general, but yeah, what else have we got? Icardi, how can we miss that? We might, you know what? Let's say we're talking about Icardi after Unai Emery, man. Let's talk about something serious. In fact, on that topic as well, BARDEN / something else. There's something else. There's a couple other serious. There's a bits and pieces of serious note. So I think the first thing we've got to start off with on a very, very, very serious note, people. Again, the last life has been shit, but the last 2 years, you know, no one can catch a break. You know, everyone in their personal life is going through things. Everyone's going through things globally, and I know it sounds cliche, and we only seem to say it when it's serious things that seem to be popping about. But you really have to cherish your life. I know you all probably saw where what's his face was concerned. Apologies, his name's actually evaded me. Sorry, where David Brooks was concerned, unfortunately, he's contracted cancer, and we're wishing him the best of recovery. Sadly, 20-year-old former Arsenal goalkeeper and current Norwich keeper who's on loan, Daniel Barden, is unfortunately at 20 years of age been diagnosed with testicular cancer after obviously initial diagnosis. Now, I know he's come out with a statement and he said, you know, obviously hopefully people respect his privacy. You know, he appreciates all the love and well wishes, but it's rather sad news, people. It's absolutely horrible. And, you know, on behalf of everyone, we're wishing the best of recoveries, because again, at 20 years of age to get cancer, it's ridiculous. To get cancer full stop, and cancer is something very close to me in my personal life as well. It's not one with positive connotations and whatnot. But yeah, also on that as well, people, in relation to Emilio Sala, David Henderson pleads guilty to one charge ahead of a trial. As you lot know, Salah and the pilot, Dave, died when the plane they were flying crashed over the English Channel in January 2 years ago in 2019. The Argentine striker was traveling from Nantes to Cardiff after completing a transfer, and tragic, you know, what is a good time of moving to getting a new job, and dying is unfortunate. Apparently, people, David Henderson has pleaded guilty to a charge relating to the flight in which the footballer obviously died. David Henderson, 66, admitted attempting to discharge a passenger without valid permission or authorization. So again, there's negligence there. And if you're pleading guilty, that's because you probably feel you're going to get less time. Maybe the guilty plea means you get a certain percentage off and things like that, versus potentially taking it to trial and evidence that could or couldn't be presented and the ramifications for it, really. So he's taking a deal. He's set to stand trial accused of endangering the safety of an aircraft and an offense under the Air Navigation Order 2016, which was brought by the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA. Apparently, trial judge Mr. Justice Foxton told the jury he was sending them home and they should return to court for 2 p.m. on Tuesday. So tomorrow, people. Apparently, he's alleged to have arranged a flight carrying the 28-year-old and the pilot, which crashed north of Guernsey in January of 2019. He's pleaded guilty, as I've said, people. So yeah, unfortunately, but two rather serious, very, very, very serious things to talk about, and almost football is irrelevant when it comes to stuff like that. And also on that topic, I don't know if you did or didn't see, one love to everyone that was here for the Newcastle versus Spurs watch along, but I'm sure you all saw somebody collapse at the game, and that fan is conscious, is on the recovery, and was taken to hospital. And hopefully they're on the mend and nothing of that nature ever happens again, people. But yeah, I won't call it sad news because it's real life, but it is quite shit, really. You've got a footballer who lost his life in his 20s. You've got someone contracting cancer at 20 years of age. It sucks, people. SALA crash. Yeah, it's very, 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 very sad news, man. I didn't think they were prepared for that collapse yesterday. Need to be in the future. And again, the heart thing is something that's been, as someone who's got a coaching badge and things like that, you've seen how needed it is, how needed it is, because we've seen a couple of incidences. And I always say to people, by God's grace, obviously, the man or woman, whoever is involved yesterday, they're all right. But it's not always going to be at a Premier League ground where you've got thousands of eyes, where you've got someone that can contact. What happens if that happens on, a normal standard Sunday league game or a normal, power league or something? You've got to think about the worst. Now, generally at grassroots level, and actually all sort of, if you go to your gym, you'll see a defibrillator. Like nine times out of 10, if you go to the gym, I think they've all got one. You walk in and you'll see something on the wall sort of thing. You think it's some scientific stuff, but it's that. And they save a life. They're bloody expensive, but they save lives. And I feel with the Mwamba thing, with what happened to Ericsson, it's unfortunate. I felt very sorry for everyone, but in particular Højbjerg, because there's probably still a bit of real PTSD from what happened a few months ago. But it weren't prepared. For me, again, don't get it twisted, Shout out to the fan who was a doctor and obviously did CPR. One love to Regulon and the fans, that everyone who played their part to notify people. Apologies, my headphones have dropped out. Everyone who played their part to just be a decent human being and ensure that the sick individual or the person who needs help gets help. I feel sorry for footballers because, again, their job is just to focus on the game and they're expected to be heroes and whatnot. And it is, big up Regulon, but it's almost unhealthy. Not the praise being lavished on the players, but it is almost unhealthy, the rhetoric that goes around. They weren't prepared, big 50 however many thousand stadium that Newcastle ground is, especially in a day like this where, well, a day like it was 24 hours ago with the owner and whatnot, you've got to be prepared, and they weren't. For me to look to the ref and look to the to the players to solve things, and actually the fans as well, credit the fans that notified people and whatnot, and everyone that played their part. They weren't prepared, and fortunately that's all it ends in. Hopefully, my man's on the mend and stuff, but yeah, they need to be prepared in the future, man. They have deflibs on some roads in London. See, I didn't even know that, man. With as many people at football matches every weekend, it's kind of surprising that sort of thing doesn't happen more often. Gillian was on air as well. Exactly. Life short, my G spread love, 100%. Man said, whenever I hear Icardi, I just know his wife's up to some ish. Or is it Icardi or is it his wife or ex-wife or whatever it is now? Or is it him, people? I guess we'll never know. And I mean, it's not nice to talk about someone's dirty laundry, but when it comes to football, it's pretty messy. It is quite entertaining, really and truly. It's like when Greenwood and Foden got caught, trying to do the birds and the bees and be young lads and secure something as well. And when them things were being leaked, Saliba's one wasn't quite as, that was just bewildering. But where Icardi's concerned, where, like you said, it's unfortunate, but Mario Icardi is a fantastic footballer. He's thinking he's a lot of service to thrive, but he is a very good striker. In terms of living in the area, he's one of the best that you could find. And, he's a good striker. You can talk about, his ability for quite a while, but unfortunately, when you mention him, it's just messy. Very, very messy where it comes to him. He's got tattoos of the names of his former friends' kids. He stole he stole one of his. I don't know if it's her, but stole someone, but it didn't steal. But he got involved with someone's missus where he's not supposed to. There's certain taboos in it. Icardi and John Terry probably make hell of a duo on a night out. Absolutely no morals between the two of them, but yeah, his name's just been mentioned in other stuff, and apparently he didn't train with PSG in the last few days, obviously owing to what's going down in his private life. Apparently Neymar's out with a little knock, so that might probably rules out Icardi and Neymar playing against Leipzig in the Champions League, people. So it's a bit of a madness. And yeah, his agent slash wife to make things, or girlfriend or relations with this lady somehow to some capacity, wherever it is now. She took off her ring, and obviously she's his agent as well. And she's actually been a bloody good agent, got him paid a lot at PSG and whatnot. But he makes it even more messy. And I mean, the same way he got him is the same way it's going to happen, isn't it? It's almost like karma. I mean, it is what it is. It is quite entertaining, people, if I'm honest with you. And where that's concerned, where is all my, where's all the, here we go. Here we go, people. Here we go. We can actually start looking at some articles and whatnot related to it, people. Please make sure you're following and all of those good things, people, where Twitch is concerned. Let's get into Mario Icardi quickly, people, where Icardi is concerned, or his private life that, you know, we shouldn't be talking about, but it's affecting the football, which is all I care about. So Icardi misses PSG training after breaking up with Wanda Nara. His wife confirmed the split on social media. You better be careful, people. You know, there's probably been people. Ironically, he's a striker, and as a striker, you got to play on side. And there's probably duns on her WhatsApp saying, "Yo, I told you, Icardi's not good for you. You know, some guys don't play with Moses, and you know she could be on the rebound. You know, you've missed the target. Someone looks like they might be scoring the follow up, so he's got to be careful, people. And someone's probably licking their lips at the fact that she's single now, but you know, let's keep it on board and whatnot. But anyways, apparently, you know, Mario Icardi didn't participate in Paris Saint-Germain's training session on Sunday, which means we'll be without him for our game tomorrow on Tuesday against Leipzig. Although it's not been officially confirmed by Icardi, there are reports that he recently broke up with his wife. The reason behind the split is rumored to be an affair between Icardi and actress and model China Suarez. I mean, what did you expect? He's a striker. He scores goals. I don't want to say steal because you can't steal someone in it, but you know, you lot did home record in, you know, Icardi did home record, and you're surprised that it's always happened, you know. Again, Leopards aren't going to change their spots here. It's quite amusing. All I'd say is to Icardi is you've always got to make sure things like this are worth it. And to be fair, if I remember football games, you know, it should be banter in that PSG group chat. It must be absolute banter. I hope Messi, Di Maria, the South American ones in particular, run enough joke, but he'll bounce back. Apparently, you know, his ex-wife uploaded a post on social media, on her social media account during on Saturday, and then responded to a follower to confirm the split, with her response going viral. The clip even reported that Wanda Nara left Paris along with her 3 kids. So, but you know, it's peak right now where Cardi's concerned. But just to stay consistent, apparently, again, I'm not following the socials, but apparently, you know, he's posted pictures of her on Instagram. Where there's this ring concern. Obviously, you might feel sorry some sort of way and whatnot, you know. I don't know what's going on, but apparently there's been a fresh twist involving this weekend, which it was over the weekend, saga involving Wanda Nara and Icardi, who appear to be breaking up. She unfollowed her husband, and obviously we know she wrote a statement and on social media and all of these sort of things. The player was excused from training. Apparently he shared photos of his wife and agent on social media. I mean, it's a bit awkward because, you know, you could not talk to him from a private life point of view, but, you know, I'm sure he's someone that might be on the move. What if he needs to get a move? What if he needs a contractual renewal or something? Like, is she not going to do it then? Like, what happens with his career, you know? Are people going to be spiteful? I don't know, but he's made his bed. He's got to lie in it. Apparently, he shared an image on his Instagram stories, then added another on his feed to wish her happy Mother's Day, since it's probably being celebrated in Argentina right now. So again, probably a bit of tactical stuff from him. But boy, you know, apparently, you know, she shared various posts, as we said. Apparently, it remains to be seen if the rumors are true. You know, can't lie, I don't know who China Suarez is. So let's 29. Yeah, just so if you like me, you have no, what's this? Well, she's just, it's not even her story. This is what she looks like allegedly. So yeah, that's where China Suarez is concerned, if you wanted to know what this woman looked like. But yeah, that's where Mario Icardi is. And apparently, you know, there's actually even a timeline. RMC have done a little timeline with it. Let's scroll the way down. That's about the people behaving themselves. But yeah, the latest is Icardi is still absent from training, obviously, with what's going on. So yeah, it's a bit of a madness, people. And apparently he's actually flown to Milan to find her on Sunday, so he's not in Paris. So logistically, he probably can't play and whatnot. So on a serious note, hopefully there's a resolution to whatever's going on, and he can get back playing and whatnot. But yeah, man, Icardi's had an affair. Him, Ryan Giggs, John Terry, the man, they are mad. But yeah, that's where them lot are concerned, folks. So yeah, that's Icardi. Boy, what are you lot saying, man? Have you seen scenes from a marriage? No, I haven't seen that. Man's doing up Disney princess stories. Man said, "Is it bad? Be a little let's be respectful. I ain't trying to get cancel the dev things there." A man said, "Icardi's girl is the one at clubs that's trying to get a man to fight everyone." Hey, a man said Icardi's moving like DJ. I'm not involved, man. Icardi took a family leave to get with his wife in Milan. Yeah, so yeah, he's got to try win his girl back in it. I hear them girls like the R&B thing. He needs to go get a boombox. Oh no, play some Usher, play something, be outside their window, or he's Argentine, so sing something, some love, something in Spanish, and them in Latino, Latin America. He needs to do something in it to get his family back in it, or it's a myth. Like, say whatever promise he needs to promise, or boy, it's gone, isn't it? Like. Far, far away. All right, let me stop, man. Let me. Sorry. And she left me alone. All right, let's stop, man. Shout out Cardi, man. Hopefully he patterned that up, man. Like, but Giggs is just a madman. Like, Giggs is a scumbag. And plus, even, let's not even include Giggs' car. He's even moving mad to this day here in domestic violence and them things. Don't condone that. That's real cowardly. But I mean, he is a coward. Someone that's been drilling his brother's wife for how many years? So he's a scumbag, quite frankly. Crazy. For extra live streams and videos, make sure you're subscribed to me on YouTube, people. Sing it, dude. Yeah, appreciate that. Resolution, divorce. He can't hide any peace from his wife and agent when he knows all his financial stuff. Boy, he's got to hold it up, man. Still got to hold it up, man. But really, when you got bands, it's different, isn't it? Like, when you got bands, it's completely different. Rooney's just, yeah, man. Rooney bust his case. When Rooney stuff was leaked, he held his little problems and then it went away. And you've seen him wake up in hotels and whatnot. And other than that, he's lived, man. Like, yeah, away from Icardi, man. It's hopefully he sorts it out, man. No one likes it. On a serious note, you don't like to see people's dirty laundry aired, but he's aired it himself, hasn't he? Really and truly. Where that's concerned, people, let's actually crack on with some football now. I know we've spoken about football, but Unai Emery has been the latest manager linked with a move to Newcastle or to become Newcastle manager. And as I've said, the first priority where Newcastle's concerned is to bloody stay in the league, because if they were lit. It was lit for 5 minutes watching that game. But if they carry on with what they're doing, they could have their whatever owner they want. They could be the Man City of the Championship, but they're going to have to get out there and it sets them back. They're not going to do it overnight. There's going to need to be a phase out of players. I think they need a new squad. Very few players are, I feel, Premier League footballers, let alone trying to do Super League stuff there, with respect. But they're not going to flush 25 out and bring 25 in. It's not healthy. But yeah, man, Steve Bruce is a dead man walking from a footballing point of view. He had his 1,000th game yesterday. I suppose, he's probably still the manager at this moment in time. We all know it doesn't have to be today, doesn't have to be next week, but someday you're going to wake up and you're going to see yellow bar. Steve Bruce has been sacked, or, it won't be sacked, terminated by mutual consent and whatnot. To be fair with you, maybe as rich as they are, they don't want to pay his compensation if they were to sack him. Maybe they're waiting on results. But yeah, before we get into it, like I said, you look at that Newcastle squad, bloody hell, not a lot of them are good enough. Like, it's looking like Arsenal robbed Newcastle of money for Joe Willett, that purple patch in terms of goal scoring. I rate Joe very highly. I like him. But like I told you, you got to bring more to the table than just scoring. And sometimes the goals were not, that run was not sustainable because the goals were masking games, like general performances. He's good enough to be a squad player. Saint-Maximin as well. Lascelles is the captain, so he'll probably stay, but Lascelles isn't good enough to do serious things. Neither is Clark. Darlow, Dubravka, who's ever in goals, not levels. Manquilo's all right. You could keep him and then phase him out. Jamal Lewis is all right, but Matt Ritchie's definitely not the left back. John Joe Shelby's probably, gulagged himself really and truly, shot himself in the foot with his nonsense. I love Isaac Hayden. He's a Hayland boy, but I can't lie, like I was saying it on the live stream. I couldn't believe it. It's like, man are chasing the game against Spurs, and bro, Isaac Hayden's still on the pitch. Like, what's going on? Like, they're not gonna bring nothing to the table. Again, where Unai Emery is concerned, it might make sense to go to Newcastle. For me, I think it's not PSG, but it's they're trying to do the PSG thing, the star players. Where you have star players, you technically have egos. Is Emery the guy for the egos thing? Right now, or if he was to take the job for at least 2 to 4 years, he would have more clout than a lot of the players because he's missed the Europa League. With respect, he did okay at Arsenal, obviously not amazing, but it's not like he did, he got us relegated or anything. He just weren't the guy. He's Sevilla. It would be all right. But again, there's going to be serious expectation. You're going to get money. There's going to be egos. Is he the guy? He seems cool at Villarreal. People that, the young players that ain't quite done nothing in the game yet, people that have been around and just found a place to settle. If there's every opportunity. To be fair with you, I'd probably stay at Villarreal. It's a good thing here. Won Europa League. I'm in my country. I'm in my homeland. If I was Emery, I'd feel some sort of way with. You know how I feel anyways. I felt it was quite frankly a bit racist and a bit nasty how the media, there was a joke, with the good evening and stuff. There's always a joke, but I think it got a bit nasty. Like this is a man that's evidently trying to speak and speak English and convey his messages the best way and whatnot. I feel it's disrespectful. And I think people in England or people that have the luxury of speaking English generally, they really underestimate, sadly, because of the dynamics of how the world has been the way it is and how, what certain nations have done. Speaking English is a very big life skill, and it allows you to migrate, whether you're going to be a cleaner or a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. The ability to speak English and probably Chinese in today's day and age now can make the difference. And I think when Emery, a man showed a willingness to do that from the start, I felt it was very disrespectful for them people. And it was, ultimately just mad corny and unnecessary, really and truly. It could make sense for Emery to make that move, though, because, you might not want to go to England, but the chance to prove people wrong about being a failure, because with respect to Newcastle, they can be his underdog. They can be his Sevilla, come and shake up the thing. There could be one of that, I don't think he'll get sacked by Villarreal, but you never know what life could happen. There could be one more bite at the cherry. With respect, he'd probably earn a bit more wages for him and his coach to start going to Newcastle. You'd probably be allowed a bigger budget. And for Newcastle, that manager's right up your street, as I'm sure Gerrard is. If Gerrard wants to take a bite at the Premier League cherry, probably a lot of expectation, at Newcastle if he was to take it. But he's done all right at Rangers, man. It's long for the long staffs. Again, one of them is not even trying to sign a new deal, so it might be long for them, really and truly. Certain man could end up in League One. Realistically, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful because these are professional footballers. But Newcastle players, but I think one of the best players on the pitch was Joe Linton yesterday. You're in trouble if I'm sitting here and I'm saying he's man of the match or whatever for Newcastle. Very few players look like Premier League footballers. A lot of them will not play for top championship sides, really. Lascelles' captain mentality, it saves him, but he's dog water, realistically, dog water, absolutely dog water. A lot of them are like, and I'm sitting there on YouTube saying this, they're Premier League footballers. I can't tell them nothing, but in my humble opinion, Newcastle in problems. And if I was Newcastle, I would start from the back up. I know if they sign a mavericky player and they tend to be attackers, that raises the debate. But for me, I think you can't win a league, you can't stay in a league, you can't win a cup if you haven't got stability in your core base of your squad. And I think, again, that defense is tired in every aspect of the word. But enough of my opinions and actually going into some of these things, people. If I share the screen, 1 second, people. Newcastle's new owners turn to former Arsenal boss Unai Emery to replace Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce can't catch a break, man. He wakes up and everyone and their nan's speculating about his job. His family members are probably taking bets and whatnot. He can't escape this. But apparently they will step up their hunt for a new manager in the wake of Sunday's disappointing defeat to Tottenham, and have set their sights on former boss Unai Emery, Arsenal boss that is, and they'll have to pay a compensation to Villarreal. Really and truly. Oh, now Man United are miles off it, Gary Neff. But anyways, as you know, Newcastle, every manager has been linked with them. Even Sir Alex Ferguson, I saw, had been linked with a return. But they've been linked with a return also for Rafa Benitez, Brendan Rodgers, Conte. Potter's also been thrown in there. Gerrard. You've also had Eddie Howe. Probably a couple of names I'm missing as well. Apparently, Roberto Martinez is on a wish list, people. According to the Times, they've now whittled down their short list down with 3 names at the top of their revised wish list, which stands at Belgian manager Roberto Martinez, Steven Gerrard, and Emery. And apparently the latter is the new name to enter the fray, with Newcastle attracted to the proposition of landing a manager who has won the Europa League on 4 different occasions, most recently pipping Manchester United to win it last year, people. As you know, again, this could be a bulk of a reason why he's been linked. Villarreal have been disappointing where La Liga or domestically they're concerned, people. Villarreal have made a rather underwhelming start to the new campaign. They sit 11th place in the table, have only won 2 of their last 8. So again, Emery might be a dead man walking. And if he gets the clip, he did win the Europa League and they might stand by him. But football owners and football's unforgiving. They don't care what you did 2 years ago or a year ago. It's about where you're going. Apparently, they're also winless in the Champions League. And if he is sacked or if there is an opportunity, things might be done, people. And it's a big job, and this must be an exciting one. Apparently, he still has 2 years left to run on his deal. So if Villarreal want to sack him, they need to pay him a good deal. Roberto Martinez is out of contract next summer. Now, again, the World Cup is in the winter, so there might be something done there. Newcastle would have to pay 8 million, as I said earlier, to part ways with Steve Bruce. Gerrard apparently was asked about the job. He said, I think it's interesting what is happening at Newcastle. I think if anyone deserves a break, it's the Geordie fans. So I'm excited. I'm sure excitement levels are very high on the tune. I'm sure everyone involved with the game is looking on with interest to see how it develops. But from a personal point of view, I don't really get involved in speculation, and I wish Steve all the best. Just a couple articles to collab what's going on. It says Steven Gerrard is to battle Arsenal flop Unai Emery for Newcastle job. I think flop is a very strong term by Dan Marsh to use in relation to Unai Emery, but ultimately he was brought in to help us return to the champs. He didn't do such, people. So yeah, that article is just correlating the same damn thing that we're saying. So it should be interesting where that's concerned, people. Think they can improve enough in January to stay up? Need to find a gaffer, even if you get a short managerial bounce, because their new owner bounce, for the first 5 minutes, it looked like it was going to work. Then it died out. So they're going to need to do something. The first priority is staying in the league, whether that's getting a manager that knows the league and cue the typical names, whether that's drawing for more experienced players or just better players. They need to do something because they're in trouble. Wilson came back and scored, but typically they struggle to score goals. Goals keep you in a division, So as like your defense, when your defense is shaky and you can't score goals, you can't win football matches. So you're in a dangerous scenario. That's the name of the game, really. If I was Newcastle manager, I'd be looking to build a team around St. Maximin. Joe Lynch channeled his inner Adriano to get that new deal and invites to the Mad Geordie parties. Make sure for extra live streams and videos, you're subscribed on YouTube, folks. What have we got here? Gotta have mad respect for people who can speak multiple languages. Ain't easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Not easy at all. That's why you're right. You can only have nothing but admiration for it. It is what it is where that's concerned, folks. What else are you lot saying? English speakers always disrespecting others when they only know one language. That's also true. Big up Emery for trying to learn a new language at his age or any age, but I find it very commendable to try when you're older. It's a lot harder. Facts. Where should Juventus aim to finish next season? Bro, I mean, if you're Newcastle, realistically, you're not going to win the Premier League overnight. People have tried it. It's got to be a gradual push. You've got to show, okay, cool. Right now, they need to prove that they can stop this whole being involved in relegation battles. So assuming you stay in the league, I would target, obviously aim for the stars, but you'd argue a top 10. Can we finish top 10? Can we break into Europa? And then obviously, if you can do that, add a bit more quality and see where that can take you. Eventually, they need to be trying to get themselves with like a Leicester template or in a position where, Leicester aren't having the best of seasons, but they've got a good squad, good manager. Things are working well. They've not got Champions League in the last 2 years through bottling it on the last day or last couple of weeks of the season. They need to be doing them things. If you can't do that, then you can't really talk about being a Champions League side and then winning it. There's all a lot of variables and there's not one linear route, but I would say, yeah, aim to first and foremost not be involved in any relegation talk and battle and all of these sort of things where Newcastle are concerned. Because I hope they don't go down. If I had to pick, would love Burnley to go down. No, I think Norwich, unfortunately, I don't think you quite have the quality. I think Norwich are down. I think Burnley, I want Burnley to go. Newcastle could be in problems, people. In fact, if I look at the Premier League table, even Leeds, like no one's really saying much. But big up Bielsa. But you know how people are. It's a bit OTT with praise with everyone at times in the Premier League. And generally, it seems like no one is saying anything about Leeds. Now, again, I don't think you should draw any conclusions necessarily with the season, because it's only been 7-8 games. But no one seems to be speaking about that one there at all, people. And I find it a bit crazy. But each to their own, I guess. And then if I look at the table, apologies. Go to the bottom, Newcastle are 19th, Burnley at 18th, and Norwich are bottom with 2 points. Boy, it's looking peak. Watford could get involved in that relegation battle, but so far they sit 16th. Right now, boy, Southampton love to flirt in there. Palace are doing well, but at the same time, it's only been 8 games played, and Palace's first priority, if you was looking at them in the summer, if everyone's honest, was be to stay in the league. So I'd say from 14th to 20th, you can't really pick. I would say the only one for definite is Norwich are gone. Like, unless a madness happens, Norwich are gone. I don't think they've got the quality. I think Norwich are gone. They're still naive, trying to play the same way. It's just not there. Newcastle, dangerous territory. I hope Burnley go. I don't want Newcastle to go. I don't even want Watford to go. So I would say I think Norwich are gone. I'd like Burnley to go, and then I'd say realistically from 14th to 20th, it could be one of them ones, people. If I'm completely honest with you. Relegation battle opinions. Make sure you're following and hitting the sub button, people. As I said, people, later today is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Make sure you're setting your reminders on YouTube for that. What else are you lot saying? One love to everyone locked in. Leeds fan, incredibly nervous just because of the injuries. I do think we're better than at least 5 other squads when Phillips and Raphinha are fit, but right now we're dropping points against those teams. That's true, man, and I like Leeds. And again, one thing I like about Leeds, away from, me thinking you deserve to be in the Premier League and the heritage and all those things, when you got promoted, it was evidently clear you're not just trying to do this, just being in the Prem for the sake of it, like a Burnley. Like, you're trying to get Europe, you're trying to disrupt top 4 eventually, whatever, Europa League. And I like Leeds, but yeah, injuries haven't helped. My man Dallas, who normally does bits for me at FPL, when I speak to my Leeds people and whatnot, seems like not too many of you are happy with Dallas. Clearly, Phillips's absence as well as Raphinha's is an absence, really and truly. They take your team up a tenfold with respect to everyone else. I think Leeds will get out of it, but I feel just generally between 14th to 20th, everyone's got to keep their eyes open. I feel too many conclusions where the Premier League is being, everybody wants to write a story. Spurs have been this amazing team in August, terrible team in September. They won yesterday and they're 5th, This time last year, ironically, when City were playing Leeds and they were dropping points and things, they said Pep's done. Arsenal have been relegated. Now it seems to be happy days, and people, even Jamie Carragher is now saying we can be the best of the chase in pack with top 4. I don't necessarily believe that. Personally, I'm at the middle ground, but you get the point. Way too many narratives. United are winning leagues or have to challenge for it. They're not looking quite good enough. Chelsea, we expect them to challenge for the league, which I still do. There seems to be a wobble. Oh, it's been 7-8 games. There's still 30 odd games. Lord knows mathematically how many points that is on the up for grabs for every team. So, a week's a long time in football, much less however many months. So, yeah, man, I back Leeds to turn it around. Like I said, I can only I feel anyways, I can only really say convincingly that, or I can't say convincingly because I can't see the future. But I just feel if I had to bet money, I probably wouldn't make too much because the odds aren't too good. But Norwich look evidently like they're going down. Many people might have said Brentford could be a yo-yo club, but Brentford right now, again, you can't draw conclusions. But for me, I back them to stay in this division, and like what Leeds did since their return, and Wolves tried to do, and Leicester are doing, trying to establish something and kick on. And the league one day we're gonna get there where every one of the 20 teams could probably get relegated and probably win the league. We're gonna get into this NBA thing soon. There's gonna be no stability where I think it is snooty to suggest you should have one. I think United will still have their heritage, but there'll be a day where you'll look at every team will be able to win. You got to look at where football is going now. We're going to have that. Teams are, Champions League final is going to be played in, I don't know, somewhere else where out of Europe, you'll probably have a Euro. You'll probably have a Euros competition outside of Europe, a Copa America in London, It's going to get mad. We're in, 11. And I feel on top of that, you're going to have 11 strikers. Defending is going to die soon. I'll be surprised if defending is there in 20 years. Heading's gone as well, which, again, with the research, I'm not saying, I'm not saying anything in that regards. Football's in a dangerous territory. I think football at its purest game is gone, man. It's gone. Like, clubs are franchises now. The soul's been ripped out of these things now. We're gonna see that Super League crap, World Cup every whenever. Sounding mad, but I sound like one of them people with like and if you are doing this isn't the problem, but you're getting like a cardboard box and a table and writing a message down in a supermarket and screaming on a microphone, the world is ending, repent, repent, repent. I'm sounding like one of them, so let me chill off with all of that. But yeah, I went off on a tangent. Bro, I'm shook for the Palace game. You, me, and everyone. The dog I don't have is shook. Like, I'm scared, man. Hope and pray for the best, but it is what it is. Screw the Super League. I can't lie to you. I am with that, but then when I break it, not even when I break it down, when I read stuff and when I look at the Premier League and how you lot act and, actually some of the pundits, really and truly, would I be against the Super League? Are we not in the Super League already? Like, naturally, I'm not saying I want it, but we're getting there. There's going to be a Super League. It's just the Premier League and these lot want to be involved in it. Like, we're getting there. We're getting into a very, I would say we are in a very dangerous territory as football fans. It's mad right now, but we've got to keep it moving, innit, really? Apparently, their academy and facilities are subpar. They need to work from the ground up. Exactly. You're going to need to bring in the best scout. I assume you're talking about Newcastle. The best scouts, sporting directors. You're going to have to rework everything. And you can't do that in 6 months. You can't do that in a year, but you can start to do stuff. If it happens, football's dead. Football's been dead, bro. Football is dead. Don't let them lie to you. It's dead, man. Unfortunately, football, what we know, died a very long time ago, people. An extremely long time ago. But yeah, in that regards, if we crack on with Lewandowski, Benzema, and Ansu Fati now, first things first, where Ansu Fati is concerned, you obviously seen him bag a brace. You see him score from outside the area. I ain't got them to hand, but he's got a very good shots to goals ratio. I feel Ansu Fati is up there when you're talking about Mbappe, Haaland, Pedri, all of these guys that are going to be the stars / the golden boys. Pedri's there. Pedri's there, of course, but Fati's there. It's unfortunate with his injury, but yeah, man, I'm happy to see Ansu Fati's back doing his thing, and he's Barcelona's number 10. He's got an opportunity. I'm sure you actually all saw Coutinho scored as well, if I remember correctly, people. He ended an 11-month goal drought where Barcelona's concerned. Koeman said he always believes in him. He's a player. They've tried to get rid of him. And I wasn't planning on speaking about this, but I mentioned it and I still have the tab open. We might as well look at this. Coutinho admits Barcelona struggles have left a scar as Brazilian ends 11-month goal drought. Shout out to you for that, man. Scrolling all the way down, eventually, he said, after so long, scoring a goal is a very good feeling. Besides, the team has won. I have a lot more desire than ever. After going through everything I went through, it has been difficult and hard. Now it's just a scar that makes me stronger. I want to succeed and be the best Philip I can be. I really wanted to score a goal. I've spent months away and I'm happy with the work I've done. It's only the beginning, but I'm happy for the victory. We deserved it. It is what it is, people. As you know, they were keen to remove him off the wage bill. He is contracted until 2023, so it is a space you have to watch, people, really and truly. As I said, Neymar is out injured and might not play against Leipzig. That's Lewandowski. That's Jules Okonde, which we'll get into. We're going to get into Benzema in just a sec. But apparently Lewandowski now, just based on paper talk, Real Madrid, how are they going to fit all these players in? Bearing in mind, before I'm about to say the players that could come in, remember, they've still got, well, for a couple of months, but you still got Bale. You actually still have Hazard. They've still got Isco, still got Ceballos, still got Asensio, still got a bag of players. But apparently Lewandowski wants to join Barcelona. Wants to join Real Madrid. Pogba wants to join Real Madrid. Mbappe wants to join Real Madrid, Real Madrid want to sign Haaland. So it's like, how are you going to play all of these guys and give Benzema a new deal? And they want Benzema to stay and all these things. Real Madrid could be the place. Barcelona need to get involved for half of these names and whatnot. But I can't begrudge Lewandowski. He clearly wants to try something new at his age, at 32, 33, doing what he's done. Ballon d'Or contender. You can't begrudge him. Now, whether Real Madrid have to sell before they can buy is another thing. Still got Vinicius and Rodrigo and these guys as well. But apparently Lewandowski prefers them. Now, it's a merry-go-round because while Manchester City still have not signed a striker, I won't say they've gone dead on the Kane interest because I don't know that, but you've probably got Kane, that Haaland, until he decides his next move is probably going to be linked with Man City. And could Lewandowski get a return and play under his former coach in Pep? He He said he watched Henry a lot when he was growing up. Henry played in the Premier League. Everyone wants to play in the Premier League at some point. The chance at 33 to play in a new league under a world-class manager as Pep Guardiola and be part of a squad could be something. Probably bored in the German league and probably feels he's outgrown his project there. But apparently he prefers Real Madrid switch and will ask to leave Bayern Munich to force through a move, despite Man City being touted as a possible destination. Bearing in mind his contract, people, you need to remember, and his age, Bayern Munich have a decision to make to give him a new deal, and he probably wants confirmation. So maybe this is just paper talk. Because of that, we've got to read between the lines at times, people. But apparently, we know he's one of the best. His agent has claimed Man City is a possible destination. So his agent, again, with his contract up for grabs, is going to do what an agent does and make it happen and create uncertainty. Apparently, he prefers a switch to Real Madrid and will ask to leave Bayern Munich, according to reports in Spain, people. 307 goals in 339 appearances for Bayern Munich since he joined on a free transfer in 2014. Bloody hell. Ridiculous, people. And apparently, Lewandowski may push for a move next summer to allow Bayern the chance to maximize their income when they sell him. You're not going to get much longevity from him, but you could take the Manchester United approach with signing Ronaldo and argue what he can give you immediately will outweigh any costs of maybe, what comes with someone of his age and whatnot. We know he's had a fantastic career. Real Madrid, they might, but how do you fit Mbappe? And Mbappe looks nailed on to go Real Madrid. How do you fit in Mbappe, Benzema, and Benzema's at a similar age as well? Mbappe, Benzema, Lewandowski, Hazard, Haaland, everyone. How does it work, people? His agent believes Man City are possible suitors. So again, flirting with everyone, people. And he started off the season where he's left off 13 goals in 10 games. And I'm sure you all saw, I only watched the first half, but Bayern Munich were up like 5-4, 5-0, if I remember correctly, against Leverkusen. Absolutely blitzed them, people, for what it's worth. Apparently, to keep it up, Lewandowski's priority is Real Madrid, people. And he's even prepared to take a reduction in his salary, allegedly. He believes that joining Real Madrid would be a great way to end his hugely successful career. I remember when he played there for Borussia Dortmund, I'm sure he duppied them a couple of years ago, Dortmund played very well against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Apparently, he would sign for Real Madrid ahead of any other club that might come knocking. I can't lie, Barca. I know you've got Aguero, and funny enough, Sergio Aguero's been linked with a swap deal with Mario Icardi, people. Apparently he's expected to request a transfer. And, if he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or now, he's never going to get a chance. As you lot can see here, the article has said Benzema, Messi, Jorginho, Lewandowski are all alleged favourites, along with Cristiano Ronaldo. Bayern Munich have a decision to make. Apparently, Real Madrid draw up Galactico's shopping list for 2022. Let's see what's going on. Apparently, their main objectives is Mbappe, and a priority for Real Madrid. It's likely that the player situation will be resolved well before the summer transfer market. Now, we can't rule out Lewandowski joining Real Madrid same way, or not joining Real Madrid, but you can't rule out Mbappe staying at PSG, which I don't think is going to happen, people. Haaland, apparently there's a gentleman's agreement, which a gentleman's agreement is not, an a dotted or a T crossed in legal work. It's a gentleman's agreement. And if I'm Mino Rinola, anything can happen at any occasion, people. Everything's set, and nothing is set in stone, really and truly. Man said Lever's tired of playing those training matches in Germany. Hazard to Newcastle. It could happen, there's a good lot of poker pies at Hazard at Newcastle, really, Him and St. Maximin would play some lovely football, if I'm completely honest with you. Real Madrid are going to play 2-4-4, not 4-4-2, bro. They need to just play 11 strikers. But yeah, it said Mbappe's a priority. Haaland, what was that? One of the charges. Haaland's a priority. As it said, there's a gentleman's agreement, which the Norwegian has with Borussia Dortmund for the club to listen to any offers that come in for him from 2022. Somebody forgot the N on listen. Means that Europe's top clubs will be queuing up for Haaland's signature. Mino Raiola, the striker's agent, together with the Norwegian's father, embarked on a mini tour of Europe in the spring, paying visits to Real Madrid, Barcelona, and several top Premier League clubs. In January, Manchester City have arranged a meeting with Raiola. So again, whoever pays the money and whoever sells the best project, that's where the client will go. Lewandowski has been linked with them, people, and it seems more so of Lewandowski forcing the issue. Then Real Madrid are entertaining trying to get Lewandowski, quality player and stuff. But it seems like there's direct intent to go for Haaland. They've made no secret whether it's Perez and Mbappe himself, Perez, Benzema, everyone and their nan talking about Mbappe's future and going there. It's quite disrespectful to us, PSG, in that as well. And hopefully PSG can at least complicate where Haaland's agreed. And, you know, Minola seems to get on with us because he's dealt with Donnarumma before. So it seems like the Lewandowski's one's more his desire than the club's. Pogba, you know, Mino Rinaldo again, he's been linked with PSG, Juventus, staying at Manchester United, and obviously joining Real Madrid now. Everything's up for debate. Now, when everything was cushy at Man United, you know, it seemed like he might sign. Now it looks like there's question marks over the gaffer. He might go. At 28, he's got a decision to make. But apparently, the French midfielder could end up at the Bernabeu at the third attempt. Real Madrid, wanted to sign him in 2016 and 19, but the deal never happened. His contract with Manchester United comes to end in June. So like Mbappe could sign on a free, which Wenger did say this sort of stuff is going to happen, which makes him another attractive proposition for the next summer. Securing Mbappe would help Madrid entice Pogba to join him. And to be fair with you, how long is Real Madrid's money? Because if you sign Lewandowski on a free, yeah, he said about the contract foregoing money, but he's going to get a signing on fee and a decent contract. Pogba is going to get a good contract. Haaland, especially if you do it in the same summer, you know, Rinaldo might give and take and say, you know what, 2-for-1 client sort of thing. You're going to have to give him a signing on fee. And Mbappe, definitely if he's signing on a free transfer, massive signing on fee and contract. You know, Rudiger would be a good signing at 28 years of age. He's also been linked with Bayern Munich as well. They need a centre half, really. Another player who clubs will be clamoring to sign next summer, the German centre-back's contract with Chelsea runs out at the end of the season. He would be a great reinforcement for a position which Real Madrid didn't strengthen adequately when Ramos and Varane left. So there's with that. And obviously, they've likened it to Alaba. Frank Kessier's contract with AC Milan is up for debate. Apparently, the midfielder will be a free agent once his contract with AC Milan reaches its conclusion, sparking interest from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Apparently, there's a third club keeping tabs on him. PSG are hoping to repeat the operation they did a few months ago with Donnarumma. Sterling, completely forgot about him, but he's also been linked with everywhere. And you could throw Dembele into stuff as well where PSG is concerned, people. Real Madrid, I don't think Real Madrid are going to get Pogba and Kessié and have Camavinga. I don't know that, but I just think that ain't going to happen. You know, Raheem Sterling has put himself on the map. We've spoken about that already. So everything's up for debate. You would imagine, at least where the attacking players, where Sterling, Haaland, Mbappe, Lewandowski, all these guys are concerned, you would probably back Real Madrid to at least get 2 of the 3. And I think they can definitely get Pogba. Again, there seems to be a French reunion, and you cannot underestimate, you know, the pull of Benzema being big homie at this moment in time. Previously, you've seen PSG are to make Haaland their priority if Mbappe leaves. This came out of Italy, people. Now, we've just heard Haaland's got a date set with Manchester City in January, which they've said here. There's a release clause of 75 to 90 million euros, which PSG will have no issues finding this. They'll sign him to a 2-year deal with the exception of a 3rd year. So a 3-year deal. In that time, there'll be a renewal. So there's that in that regards, people. Speak about Lukaku in a second, people. Where Benzema is concerned, apparently, you know, Benzema on his chances of winning the Ballon d'Or, he said, I'm not far off. Benzema believes that he's close to winning the Ballon d'Or for the first time in his career, and in doing so would make one of the dreams he had as a child come true. And to be fair, he's been one of the few wonder kids. You look at him, Cesc, Rooney, you know, of the new age sort of guys that were kids and then carried it through. Benzema's been good. As much as I'm here for the Benzema stuff, one of my friends said, honestly, in your heart, do you believe Benzema's been playing like this for the whole of 2021? And I say yes, but I also think I'm lying. So by that logic, it probably leans it towards Lewandowski or somebody else. But I think Benzema, Lewandowski, Salah for me. Anytime that Ronaldo and Messi are playing, they could. Jorginho has these shouts as well. He's after winning the Euros and the Champions League. Would rather Kante get some recognition, but it is what it is. He said, of course, I dream of winning the Ballon d'Or. He said, my idols, Ronaldo and Zizou, came to Madrid. I have to come to Madrid. They also won Ballon d'Or. These are little things that I think about. It would be one of many dreams I had as a child. Right now, I am not far off. And as you know, Modric is the only player who managed to break the Messi and Ronaldo thing going on. I swear Kaka won it just before they started their dominance. It's the 10th time Benzema's been nominated for this prize, people. The closest he ever got to win it was in 2014 when he finished in 16th place. As you know, Winning the Nations League as well as whatever he's been doing for Real Madrid is obviously going to boost his credentials. And where he's concerned as well, apparently Fabrizio Romano said Real Madrid board want to extend Benzema's contract until June 2023 before the new season to show how much they trust him. He'll be part of the project for next season when Karim will be 35, whatever happens with Kylian Mbappe deal. And you've also got to remember Modric and Kroos are still contracted there as well. So there needs to be something decided there. That's a bit irrelevant. We've spoken about that. So let's close that. So yeah, people, there's some more transfer stuff. We can see what's going on here. Bale could become a loan transfer target for Arsenal. Real Madrid consider Dominic Calvert-Lewin bid. I think if anyone, they'll sign Sterling. As you can see, PSG want to swap Icardi and Aguero. Pardon me. Apparently, Liverpool are in the mix for Lewandowski. And to be fair with you, for a couple of years, he could be the signing and a reunion from Jurgen Klopp. Apparently, Neymar is committed to seeing his contract through to 2025, people. He's also spoken about the next World Cup could be his last. Rebecca Camara could be joining AC Milan. Apparently, William Saliba won't be returning to Arsenal early, and we knew he'd stay out on loan for the season. Leo are open to selling Portuguese midfielder Renato Sanchez. Obviously, he had a big Euros and a move never happened. He said, I have already discussed this with him. If an offer from a big club arrives, Renato will be able to leave. We'll see what will happen. Apparently, Billy Gilmore could be recalled from Norwich 6 months early. Apparently he's not getting playing time. Apparently there's no pressure to play Gilmore. We're not here to develop players for other clubs. We're here to win points. So he might not think he's strong enough. Dani Almo's been linked with a return to Barcelona. Bale on loan at Arsenal seems to just be nonsense. So let's leave that where it is. Tuchemani, Liverpool have been linked with Lewandowski, as you've seen. Apparently they've thrown their hat into the ring with Chelsea and Manchester United to sign Tuchemani, people. Is what it is. Apparently, according to Football.London, Sam Johnson is one of the goalkeeping options that Arsenal could consider in 2022. It would be a good number 2. I'd like us to try Etienne Green of St. Etienne, although if I was him, I'd probably sign for Arsenal, but he probably won't get too much game time. So that's where them things there are concerned, folks. Let's set our timestamps. Okay, that's concerned 101. Transfer news, LEWA, Benzema, Pogba, Mbappe, Haaland. Oh gosh, sorry people. Timestamps, I know they're jarring. Gotta be done. So yeah, that's that. What else have we got? Have I got anything? Sadly, we had to speak about that. Lukaku as well, folks. We've got to cover Lukaku. Unfortunately, it hasn't quite worked out for Lukaku where Chelsea's concerned right now. Now, for me, I back Lukaku to get back to goal scoring form. I wouldn't say it's a crisis, but anytime you've lacked goals, you've signed a striker because you lack goals, and Lukaku is whatever you say about him, he does score. It is going to be a crisis. I back him to be amongst the top goal scorers in the Prem. I back him to have a respectable goal return in all comps. Chelsea haven't been playing well by their own standards. They've been getting the results, but they've been slugging it through, whether it's been in the Champions League at times, against Zenit, against Villa in the Prem. Obviously, they got over the line against Brentford, weren't at their best, but end of the day, they've done it. It's a question mark over Lukaku. He's gone on a bit of drought. It's always going to be a crisis because he's a good player and he set himself very high standards. I do think you have to give him a bit of a blight because he had a bit of a knock that he's picked up for Belgium. But I do think Chelsea, in the logic made sense. We lack goals. Let's sign someone who just knows goals. But Lukaku is irrelevant if you're not really giving him service. He's not going to press continuously. If you don't give him service, he ain't going to make things happen. I know he gets involved, but he ain't going to make things happen. I do think he's been deprived of that. I do think Chelsea don't have a lot of goal scorers. I do think they've become a bit predictable in how they attack and whatnot, and they need to stop being a bit stale in that. But it's the same issues that we know with Lukaku. He's going to score goals, but it's the same thing. We've got to remember he's got 4 goals in all comps. In his last 5 starts, 6 games in totals, he's had no goals. The same limitations that have plagued his career come to light. I know there was a big song and dance of the player that left Manchester and was returning via Italy to Chelsea and London is a different player. You just look at it. but it's the same old problems. I don't think Chelsea spread the goals out enough. And obviously, Lukaku's, if you're not scoring, they're going to get at you, people. They're not really creating chances. Back-to-back games, no shots on target for him either. Now, you've got to shoot for yourself, but there seems to be a crisis there because he's being given no service. Thomas Tuchel said, "I'm not concerned as I felt him a bit tired and then isolated because we were defending against a block too deep. Both of them, Timo and Romeo, were too far away to help us and escape the pressure. That was the problem today, but I have no concerns. Normally, the best thing is he scores, but he's very unselfish at the moment, looking for Timo in good situations, which he did. And when he had a situation, it was a close offside decision. Nah, he missed the tap in, if we're honest with ourselves. So I think it's the same old things with Lukaku, really and truly. Sadly, the Canio, bit critical of him like Conte was. Lukaku is simply a functional, dull player. And top of the table, Chelsea are not to blame for the 98 million striker going 6 games without a goal. I mean, Lukaku is the sort of man that takes responsibility. He's the reason he's not scoring. But at the same time, the team's not scoring. Forget just Lukaku. No one is scoring. No one is playing. They're not playing bad. They sit at the top end of the table, but there's more to come from them, really. Appreciate you for cheering. Appreciative of that. One of the first ever ones. Exactly. Still winning games. That's all that matters. Getting the results. Obviously, you want to play a bit crisper because sometimes that luck runs out. I think a lot is being made. Sometimes you just don't score goals. And I think a lot is being made of Lukaku. Obviously, he needs to score. But is this really any newsworthy? Because Lukaku, these are the things he does. I wouldn't have any concerns because he's going to score goals. But anyways, the Canio has said himself, he's a functional and dull player that is not, and it's not Chelsea's fault he's not scoring. He said, I heard Giuseppe Bungotti comparing Napoli striker Victor, obviously Osimhen and Lukaku, but Osimhen has a different spirit. He's not dull like Lukaku. And that's a bit harsh. I do think Lukaku does get involved. I do think against Spurs, he might not have scored, or I could be wrong, but he did do well. But ultimately, strikers are paid to score goals, really. When the difficulty is increased, he scored no goals in 5 games with Chelsea, and it's not Chelsea's fault. They're first in the table, even without his goals. Lukaku does not score. Lukaku is a functioning player, as Llorente was in Antonio Conte's Juventus. Even if Lukaku is stronger than Llorente, Lukaku is functional to a certain type of game. I don't think you can disagree with that. I don't think you can deal with that. And I've just read these out to you as well, folks. I think he'll get back to goal scoring, but obviously he is lacking without, it's the same things with Lukaku. Question marks over the other aspects of his game, and obviously question marks over the caliber of the teams he's scoring against, because he hasn't got too many big game goals. You don't get clout for scoring against Arsenal anymore. I know they went, again, things happened in the game, but didn't bag against Liverpool, didn't bag against Spurs, didn't bag against City. So it is what it is. I'm a fan of Lukaku, so I'll back him to get back among the goals, but it's just got to face the music at this moment in time, innit? Really and truly. Lukaku goal drought. No need to say sorry, bro. We're here to talk about football. What do you think about your game against Palace? First things first. When I think of Palace, I think of they've been our bogey team. We ain't lost in 6 games, but we against them, I feel. But we haven't won too many of them. There's been a few draws. Even when we have won, you look at I'm sure we drew against them. We drew once against them under Mikel Arteta, where we scored a very good goal where Aubameyang finished, and we drew against them last season at the Emirates, where again, want to learn our lessons because we couldn't break them down. Even when we won at the last game of the season, we turned it on in the second half. So it's going to be a big game, playing good football under their new gaffer, Vieira. Vieira, obviously, quite tired of talking about the return, but big up Patrick Vieira. It's a big week for us. If you get 6 points, you've put yourself in a good platform. And for anybody, really, the games aren't getting any easier. So the best thing to do is win. You need to be targeting 6 points. I could live with 4. Knowing Arsenal, we could get 1, we could get 2, we could get 3, we could get all 6. It's a bit mad. We need to evade press better and have it on the ground and launch it to Lukaku all the time. Probably have Havertz false 9 with Werner, Lukaku either side will probably be better. I would say Chelsea probably need to focus on a couple players being a bit more specialist, like find an absolute role for Mount, find a role for Havertz. And just, the players are there to play good football. Just get them to play good football. Again, if you lot were spam creating chances, no one is saying anything because Lukaku will finish his dinner. That Mount debate you had on Rants, on Rance's platform was spot on, but Matisse wasn't hearing it. Hella overrated, plus Ballon d'Or nomination got to Mount's head. And I assume you're a Chelsea fan. You know, I like Mount. I don't think he's a bad baller. I think he's an 8. But yeah, man, I think he's propped to a platform he's not. But I think he's a good functioning player, a player that is good. You know, I don't even think he deserves some of this criticism, but could do a lot more, man. Meant not launch it to Lukaku all the time. Appreciate you. You know, big up all the Arsenal fans that are here. But if you support another club, I appreciate that because you clearly just like good football chat and the rest of it, man. So one love to everybody that's tuned in for such. I think for club and country, he does everywhere. Sorry, but we need to put him in a body bag tonight. Big up Vieira, but his job needs to be in question after this evening. Mount's hella overrated, in my opinion. It's harsh, man. Trust me, Vieira's our captain. Might even be my gaffer because it's our two teams playing against each other. Mount will end up like Milner one day, in my opinion. Ignoring finances, which team do you think Pedri would develop the most at? Probably where he is. He's one of them. He just needs a platform to play. But you'd probably say maybe a Dortmund or these teams there. But I would probably say Barcelona, man. I'd probably say Barcelona personally. Make sure you're all here for the Arsenal Crystal Palace watch along as well, people. No, that's skilly. This is my watch along. Make sure you're all there for that one. Follow and subscribe and the rest of it on both platforms. Kevin De Bruyne has said he understands Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling's frustration is understandable, admits Kevin De Bruyne. He understands why Sterling is frustrated with his situation, but insists that squad rotation is a part of life at a top club. And it's true. You either make yourself historically a Fernandinho, a current Ruben Diaz, you know, a Kevin De Bruyne. You make yourself undroppable, like Sterling was at a point. You're not doing the business. You know, you're not going to be happy you're not playing, really. Obviously, rotation is important because we are playing 4 competitions. It's a tough art sometimes. But I understand the frustration because I'm a player and some players need more rhythm to get into it. Maybe Raz is someone who needs that more. I'm personally a player who needs that also. Sometimes it's tough to play one game not, but obviously it's the manager who has to make the choices. It's very hard. We have 22, 23 internationals who are unbelievable. So whoever you pick, you will get right a lot of the time. Whenever the team plays good, there's not a lot of things you can say as a player, but we also try to help each other. That's the only thing we can do as players, which is true. Scrolling all the way down, is he carried on? Apparently, he's got limited memories of the Chelsea game after getting fractured. Getting fractures, he says. I remember some chances. There were not a lot, but I remember some in the first half and the goal. But after the collision, I don't remember a lot. Don't remember how I got to the hospital or the night itself. I remember going back in the morning to the team hotel about 10 a.m. and still in my Man City kit. It's sport. It happens. It's not the best thing that ever happened, but you get on with it. Fair play. When asked on who he'd pick for Ballon d'Or, you know, who he did play in Germany, he said, I would choose Lewandowski for what he has done in the last 2 years, goal scoring wise with Bayern Munich. And he's also Pep for what it says is unsure on the availability of some of his Brazilian players, people, and he might be playing coy. He said they come the day after we come back to Manchester in the normal routine with Gabby and Eddie. We are 4-5 years, so they don't need special things to be integrated. We'll talk to them, see how they feel. I'm pretty sure they'll feel good. They trained 1 or 2 days there with our trainers. Fair play, right? You're sending your trainers to Brazil. So fair play. See what's going on. And I'll be doing a watch along on Twitch of that game. Make sure you're checking your schedules. FM today, no time, bro. Scree, but FM on. Might be FM Wednesday. Check the schedule, bro. Check the schedule. Check the schedule. There's definitely 2 FM episodes happening, man. Yeah, you Rants. Matisse was the first show I ever watched. Remember you two forcing Matisse to open a YouTube channel. Began following Rants after that as well. Come on. Pep prefers technical ballers. Sterling is not one of them. Sterling is too busy trying to scare kids with his trek accent. Come on, man. You lot are harsh, man. You lot are harsh. Pep always prefers the wide 10, Grealish, Bernardo over natural wingers like Sterling. True. Is Sterling even playing as a natural winger again? To play devil's advocate would be something to suggest. Not sure. What else is going on in the world of football? Any other Arsenal stuff going on? Watch along at 7 p.m. Arsenal Palace, like you said. What else have we got? But yeah, I can't lie. On that note, people, time to cool off from live streams for a sec. We've been here for an hour and 14 minutes. I'll be back again at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Again, we've covered everything. I thought let me cool off and whatnot and not suffer burnout and things. You know, the lights do get to you and whatnot. So I think let me cool off. Check the Twitch schedule. Man said tits, but that sounded mad. I'm trying to get cancelled. But I always say check the schedule. Why don't I just show you it to people? Literally what I mean is go to the damn schedule, people, because you can see everything there, people. You know. Stream manager, like you can see, we're covering this tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm live. You know, I'll be reviewing the game with my guy Budge as well, which is Arsenal. So you got 3 bits of Twitch content tomorrow, actually, like you can see. Club Brews watch along. Wednesday, Football Manager, Dynamo Kiev. That is subject to change. Head over to my YouTube community tab because Salzburg are playing Wolfsburg. So again, if the votes win, we'll go with that. I thought, let me try Europa League watch along. So Lazio versus Marseille on Wednesday. Friday, I'll be playing Football Manager. Saturday, Norwich and West Ham watch alongs. And that doesn't mean the watch alongs are dead. You'll see Brighton, Man City on YouTube and Manchester United, Liverpool also on YouTube. So yeah, man, there's hella things there. So there's content galore, people. One love to the Twitch gang that are here. Shout out to everyone watching it on the replay. Over and out, man.
It's always just that active and defending. I think it's like